Hello. In this video, I wanted to revisit the drawabox ladybug, and this image is from the Drawabox website, and I kind of wanted to break it down in my own way, starting with gesture first. And I guess I'll try to use some of the big picture things that I learned from Drawabox. As always, when I draw a gesture, I try to sum things up either in straight lines, C curves, S curves, or a circle. Kind of like that. Okay, let's see. I guess I'll start with the big picture thing, which would be the back. Not the back, but the abdomen. And then I believe you have the thorax. Then you have the head. That should have been a little more inset. Kind of like that. And I'm just trying to get the big picture of the ladybug. The other thing is, the legs, the 6 legs of our ladybug are all connected to the thorax, or the middle ball. Like that. And I'm gonna kind of draw lines to kind of summarize the legs. And basically when I do this, I am just trying to make it just a line that kind of sum it up. And I'm gonna draw over this a little bit. When I'll be going on a new layer eventually. I can't see everything, but when I am seeing the ladybug, I'm kind of seeing the bigger beanish shape connected, and I'm seeing a thinner one. I guess that should have been more thin. Kind of like that. And it's got 2 little grippers on the bottom of its legs. Kind of like that. There is some obscuring based on the perspective of our ladybug here. We just can't see some things, particularly the back legs. I mean, they're there, it's just the image, it's kind of hard to see it. I also realized I may have made the head a little bit too big, so I'm gonna kind of go over it. I mean, I'm kind of happy I'm just doing a little gestural section instead of committing to everything. Kind of like that. And then there's kind of a smaller shape in here. And then with that you have you could put 2 circles. And I'm guessing, I'm not sure if these are antenna or would the right word be mandible? I'm not sure. But I could see them. I'm also seeing here, looks like a leg, probably from over here, but it's obscured because of the shell of the ladybug. And I think I may have made the back ball a little bit too wide. I probably should have made it a bit thinner, because when you do look at a ladybug, it does kind of look like they're more a semicircle rather than a full-on ball shape, because I mean, I'm pretty sure it's a little bit more like, like concave, and the shell is just like a protective thing. But yeah, I'm also seeing the leg that I didn't draw. It's very obscured, but it's under there. So if I was going to do that again, well, there are some other things. I kind of want to make a couple adjustments. And I think when I establish like the big picture, what I would call the gesture of our ladybug, I think it kind of helps clarify certain things, maybe like proportion. And now I'm going to kind of draw the beans. And I'll revisit, I'll definitely revisit ladybugs in the future from like different perspectives once I get different image rights for them. And I normally don't like to guess. But I guess it's more of an estimated guess. Kind of like that. Another thing is I'm seeing like two little, I'm not sure what they are. Oh, I'm actually seeing antenna that I didn't see before. And I kind of see where they're attaching from. I think it's kind of like there. But it's so small. Now that I realize it, I needed to draw another thing, kind of like another bean type thing. I can kind of see it. So I see the first leg, then the part kind of goes down a little bit. It's kind of like a different shape. Kind of like that. I probably could have shown the thinning more. This does kind of thin out as you get to that point. And in the future, I will try to work from clear images. Because I really believe that the better the quality of the images, the better you're going to be able to absorb it and get parts right. So hard for me to see that other that other end. And based on like this second leg is what I'll call it, it's really interesting because it looks a lot more flat. Like I could kind of see there's a bit of a concaveness to it. But a lot of it is really interesting. And I don't know what advantage it gets from being like that. But something. And now that I look at it, I think I really messed up the proportion. Or maybe not. Maybe it's just its back leg is extended a lot more. I'm not exactly sure. Because if you look at its back leg here, where my mouse cursor is, over here, by the way. Over here. If you look at its back leg looks a lot more extended than its other two legs. So I'm guessing its current legs are really bunched up, and it has like a much greater length. Because when I look at it, I'm seeing like it kind of looks like the it just looks like extended much further than what I would think would be possible for it. Doesn't make sense to me. But I guess I'm doing a bit of guesswork here. And based on that, I could ever so slightly see it. The gripping thing. So I got the main structure that I wanted to touch upon. Now I'm going to start adding like the shell. So like in the drawabox exercises, what they'll do is they would kind of draw a line connecting the various contours to show how they connect. The idea being that there are a bunch of like spheres or sphere-like things that are all attached, and you can kind of draw like a partial ellipse around the contour of the ladybug shell to kind of show it. I think that does help differentiate it. I will do that. I remember from the video that the bug had like the section here, and I know that the section here is like, I know ladybugs have wings, so they could fly. Like they do have a wingspan to them. You know, they kind of like lift out. Which would be a good subject matter for another video if I could find a ladybug with its wingspan out. I think that would be like a really good case study. But yeah, you had the other important thing was like connecting these. And I think I did better justice, maybe. Okay, now I'm going to try to do let me think, the shell. The shell kind of goes over. Kind of like goes in. It seems like it's a bit more... I didn't do it justice. When I look at the third sphere, like this sphere, I see I summarized it as a sphere, but I think it would have been better to like really think of like the shape language. and it's kind of like that. You know, kind of like that. It's a very unique shape. I'll try to fit it in. Because, you know, obviously our ladybug, it's, that would be its thorax is not a ball. It's its own unique shape. I think I'm going to sum it up in a couple more lines. It's kind of, I kind of fit it in. I should have done that. I could have done that better justice, because I'm drawing a bunch of stuff on top of each other, which kind of obscures it. The other interesting thing about the ladybug is if you look where my mouse is over here, its eye, not its eye, I mean its real eyes are on the small part, but it has like, I wonder if that's like a form of mimicry. Maybe that's not the right word, but it makes it look like it has gigantic eyes. That's always my theory. So if you think of it, you know, this pattern kind of fits around. Oh, I should have done it closer. I'm guessing it's used to scare other insects away, making others think it looks like a larger bug than it actually is. Which leads me to believe what the heck are the other two white things behind it. Hard to say. It's a bit difficult. They're interesting shapes. I wonder if they follow some type of set structure, or if they all follow like a similar pattern. There's got to be some logical flow to it. The other thing is I'm kind of realizing it kind of cuts, and a ball doesn't really, like, look here again. I'll kind of cut through it. It's like a distinct section. I think I may have made it too contourish. The next section I kind of want to like chisel on or chisel out is its back shell. And it's interesting because if you look here, there's kind of like a little bit of a separated groove. I wonder if that's to somehow let the thorax move a little bit, because I know that like with spiders they can't just move their head. So I'm guessing it has to do with like that little gap is for a little bit of extra flexibility. So maybe it could move its front part a little bit better to look around. So I'm seeing it kind of being like, now let me move this one to the side. There's a gap. Oh, it's not that large. Let me try to do it more justice. Kind of like that. I think I should have made it in more. I think it should have been a little more over here. But if I was doing that over here, and I made the ball back here a little bit too large. I think I should have summed it up to be a smaller, rounder ball. I made it too ellipsoid. But going from it, the other thing is it obscures the legs here. And I'd say I'd probably go about that far. Kinda to there. Kind of like That's what I'm seeing. So yeah, I made a mistake with making it a little bit too large. I guess the other thing, if you wanted to, another interesting thing to study is I see there are another two white things where it's wings, like where it's the two halves, like this is half one, this is half two, would come out. I'm seeing another another two of those white things, which I could, it's actually not that close. It follows along the contour of the curvature of the shell of our ladybug. And I wonder if it's supposed to look like something when the ladybug is flying. Perhaps maybe to not get eaten by certain bugs. That would be my 2 cents on it. I'm not doing it justice. No, I don't like the shape I keep making. Oh well, I'm gonna roll with it. But the other thing I'm seeing is, I think I should have made that bulge out a bit more. So the ladybug also has black dots on it. And you know, they're not just they're not perfect circles. But they are interesting, I'll give it that. That's what I'm seeing with our ladybug. Yeah. I made a lot of mistakes, but maybe I should have drawn a bit larger. I will revisit this with a larger drawing larger. I keep wondering, maybe it would have been better for me to lay in the shapes instead of trying to, because like I think shapes could be gestural. I don't think you always have to stick to a circle. Yeah, I made that too large. Well, I'm not too happy with what I did, but I will definitely revisit ladybugs again in the future. Yeah, I'm really sorry about this. I thought it would turn out a little bit better, but I feel like I kind of made a bit of a mess. And I feel like the real head thing here, I think I angled that a bit wrong. But yeah. Well, maybe next time I'll make a lady beetle, or I think it would be an Asian lady beetle, which looks like a ladybug, but is not a ladybug. It's like maybe it's like a distant relative of the ladybug, but the other one's considered a pest. A garden pest, I believe? Or I don't know. I think it could spit acidic stuff or something compared to a ladybug. But I think I'll do that. That would be an interesting case study. But yeah, I don't I really messed it up. Oh well. I probably should have really kept the gesture and I should have drawn shapes on top of it. But you know, I guess I'll put this video on YouTube to show that I screw up. I think it's better than to try to hide mistakes. But you know, I think it'd be a good idea for me to try to draw from a clear a photo of a ladybug next time. But yeah, thank you for listening. I appreciate it. Feel free to tell me how awful I did in the comments. But yeah, bye. Thanks for listening through. Bye.